He'll score. Going to third with nobody there is Seris. He pops up, comes to the plate. Two-run score. 4-1. Astros on top.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Beyond the Diamond Podcast here on the Apollo Podcast Network. Brian the Lima, Apollo Dez here with you. Follow us on Twitter at BLima790, at Apollo Dez1, and of course, at Apollo HOU. And the World Series is currently knotted at one game apiece. Atlanta took the first game. The Houston Astros take game two. And now the series shifts to Atlanta to Truist Park. And we are joined today for this episode to look into games 3, 4, and 5 by Braves Ashland of John Boy Media. Ashland, thank you so much for taking the time. How you doing? How you feeling with the series so far?
Good. It's all according to plan so far. So
here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Is that how we're going to start it?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's how we're going to start it.
That's how we're going to start it. A lot of, all right. This is,
okay.
I love it. Ashland, thanks for jumping on. Like you said, you expected 1-1. I expected 1-1 because Charlie Morton owns us, owns our soul.
Charlie only pitched 3 innings though, but
and he also threw a couple outs with a broken leg. So that's pretty sweet.
So
crazy.
I thought we're leaving Houston 1-1. So I'm not worried. My hand was on the panic button yesterday, but after that butt whooping, my hands are off and they're up and I'm feeling good. I don't know. Give us your rundowns of game 1 and game 2.
Game 1 was what I needed to see. I needed to see everybody hit. I needed to see everybody travel with the team. That was a problem when we went to LA. Like Travis and Adam might as well have stayed in Atlanta when we went out there. They didn't do shit. So I needed to see them travel with the team. I appreciated that. I needed to see Luke Jackson go back out there and be Luke Jackson, which he did. So game 1 was wonderful. Game 2, there was like the bad news Bears inning, but outside of that, it wasn't awful.
Freed did settle down, right?
Yeah,
he got you into the 6.
Yeah, he got 9, 10 in a row after, giving up 5 or whatever. But
offensively, were you surprised about the switching Soler and who hit leadoff last night? Rosario, sorry. Were you surprised that they switched that Snicker switched it compared to game 1? Or is that something that he's done kind of all season?
I assumed that we would swap it back. He's kind of done that the whole time. To be honest, we didn't expect anything different from that. So
in this day and age, 3 lefties at the top of the lineup is rare.
It's very rare. Very rare.
That takes some balls to run out 3 lefties in a row.
Yes, but Snicker's also the guy who, once he finds something that works, he's not going to fuck with it. He's not going to change it.
Yeah.
So,
the whole if it ain't broke, don't fix it type mentality.
Exactly. And Soler went out for a bit with COVID or whatever during the CS. So once he was back and reacquainted himself with the team, I think he sat 1 game or came off the bench 1 game. After that, we're going back to same old.
So in game 1, I think one of the things that impressed me the most about the Atlanta Braves is, one, I think people still underestimate the Atlanta Braves. They have a hot lineup right now. They've got quality arms in the bullpen. They've got quality starters. But the thing that really surprised me the most is how aggressive they were in their approach against Framber Valdez. Now, Framber Valdez, from what we've seen pretty much all season, he'll have a stretch of really, really dominant performances. And then he will do what we saw early in the CS against Boston. He'll come back with a phenomenal game. And then we saw a down Framber against the Braves in game 1. But mixed in with him not getting ahead of hitters, him finally fighting back, but already being behind, having to throw pitches that are over the heart of the plate, I still was kind of surprised with the aggressiveness. I don't know if that's something that's been all season long for the Braves or all postseason. What do you think about that?
That's been probably all postseason. But I loved seeing that. We all knew, kind of like you said, you can either get really good Framber or I don't know Framber. So when we came out and saw that his stuff wasn't the best it could be, we had no option but to jump all over it. That period. I loved the aggressiveness. I loved Ozzie Steele. Was that game? Yeah. Ozzie Steele in that game.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't expect to see a lot of that, a lot of running from our guys. I mean, Ozzy's fast, but I didn't expect to see a lot of running, so loved that.
He was elite on game one. Like, I think it was like 30.3 down the line. Like, that's
fast.
big time.
Yeah,
and plus it's like when it's going great, it's going great, right? He had like 3 infield singles that's probably equaled about 125 feet.
Yep.
So I mean, doesn't matter. 3 hits or 3 hits. I guess the biggest thing is just I knew about just being a fan, and obviously you're not in the World Series if you're not good, but y'all hunt 2-0, 3-1, 3-0 fastballs, and that's what Framber got stuck behind, and y'all capitalized on it. And then the flip side, it was Urquidy just firing balls into the zone and making sure, like, hey, if you're gonna hit me, you're gonna hit me 0-0, 1-0, and if you don't, my pitch count's gonna be really low. And so, like, the shift of that in game one, I think caught a lot of people, the casual fans, by surprise. But I was just like, man, I was in the Crawford box. I was like, I am already tired of getting line drives hit at my face. Like, Soler's sounded like an absolute grenade launcher going off. That dude is strong. Absolutely strong. I
don't remember if it was the day before game one, maybe 2. I don't know. When he was just taking BP. And I was like, he's about to have some fun.
Yeah,
hitting balls
up onto the tracks over the Occidental sign as well. I mean, that's a poke. Yeah. That's like 475 up there. That's crazy.
He's bigger than you think. Like, when I look at him, I don't think, oh, he's 6'5" or 4, whatever, but he's huge.
He made Carlos Correa look small. Yeah, and Carlos is built.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole thing, Soler was hitting leadoff that game. Like, that's your DH leading off for the Braves, and he comes out and he makes a statement. And I was just still like, holy shit, I can't believe this is the approach that they're going to have. But it's kind of like what Des and I talked about on our World Series preview. For me, it was always score early and score often and let your pitchers settle in. And that's exactly what the Atlanta Braves did in game one. And it got granted, Framber wasn't good, but still, the approach is just what shocked me.
Sorry, go ahead.
You're good, go.
No, as the queen of Braves Twitter, what was the mood had to be great, right? You're up in the World Series, and then Charlie exits, and immediately you get the injury report. I like that was probably the quickest.
I hated that.
That was the quickest injury report I've ever seen. It was like shattered fibula out till spring training. I'm like, what? I thought it was a parody. I thought someone like changed their handle. I was like, are you kidding me? So what was obviously we were at the game, so we're just, the timeline's a little slower with how bad the service is. So can you give us like kind of what the shift in the mood was right then in the spot?
I hated that they did that. First of all, I don't know anybody who didn't hate that. Like, at least give us till after the game. Like,
for sure,
punch us in the gut right now. But whatever. That they didn't ask me. Braves fans are ever pessimistic, period. Like, we could be up 20 on you guys with 6 outs and we'll be like, they could probably come back. It could happen. That's just how we are. So the mood, at least for myself, for sure, as soon as I saw that about Charlie, I was like, well, we're fucked now. Like, went from semi-confident in our pitching to, well, now what the fuck are we going to do? We're just going to throw like 5 bullpen games? Like, what are we going to do now?
Yeah, people I don't think realize how big of a factor that's going to come into play if the series goes 6 and 7 games. Like, who's going to turn around and make another start for the Braves?
I mean, we're going to throw Max again, obviously. I guess we're going to expect Tucker Davidson, who was Charlie's replacement, to start and actually give us a little length. He's not stretched out. Like, he's not going to be able to go 6 by any means, but he's going to have to give us 4, and he's going to have to give us 4 good ones.
Yeah.
Like, real good ones. And he hasn't pitched with the big league club since June. So.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
he had a forearm injury and was out for like ever. And I think he threw 1 game maybe. And I don't even know if he started. He might have just made an appearance in 1 game in Gwinnett towards the end of the season. Then he's been throwing sim games, but he has not been in a Braves uniform since June.
Are you worried about Max? Obviously, the Astros touched him up yesterday. The Dodgers got him the last time around. My buddy, who's shout out Dan, he was at the game with us. He pregame with us as well. He was in his Braves Acuna jersey. Actually, he was in an Aussie jersey yesterday and had the pearls and everything. And he felt great, felt confident about Max's appearance going in. I thought it projected well for the Astros. Anytime you try to lefty out there against our lineup, I feel way better than a righty that fills up the zone. So what's the shift in his last 2 starts? Is that worrisome? Is it just, hey, because obviously he's had a great track record, taking the league by storm in the playoffs, over the last couple of years. But are the last 2 starts kind of worrisome, or how are we feeling on that?
With the way he finished out yesterday, not so much.
Okay.
I'm not so worried about it. Had he not been able to find the stuff and get back under control, a whole different mindset. But because he got pissed off yesterday, and that's what we need. We need him to be mad. We need him to be pissed off that he sucked.
Yeah, because I think he retired like 9 in a row at one point. He settled down. Obviously, that's what you want to see. And I think the biggest thing was limiting the exposure to the bullpen. Me and Brian talk about it all the time. When you get the Astros, this team, all this data to pick up on when you send out all these arms, they later in the series, they really take advantage of it just because they've seen the guys and now they know how they throw and their tendencies and all that. I think yesterday was a huge thing. It was sort of like, again, in the Boston series when we got destroyed with all the grand slams. Jake Odorizzi ate a ton of innings and limited the Red Sox from seeing our guys. And so when they actually saw them, it was late in the series. So obviously you have the 2 lefty arms that are just horses right now for you. You want to let at least our fan base know, other than those 2, who other arms you guys on Braves Twitter and as Braves fans, those are your dudes in the pen.
Okay. Well, I mean, Mentor and Matzik, those are our lefties that are just disgusting. However, like you said, we've got to limit, especially Matzik a little bit, because we keep that up game 6 and 7, we're going to pay for him being out there that much. Like, it's just a fact. Jackson is going to do well for us this series. I have full confidence him coming back and being who he's been all season. He wasn't good in the CS against the Dodgers, but he's never pitched well against the Dodgers. They just have his number, and that's all there is to it. Now, Kyle Wright, y'all saw him for like an inning last night. I don't know what exactly we're going to do with him. I don't know if we're going to try and start him for one of the bullpen games. I don't know if we're going to maybe leave him in like a long relief type role. I don't know, but he looked good last night. And it's been a while since we've seen him up here as well. So that's probably who I would watch for. And then Jesse Chavez has just fucking done it all year long. I mean, he flies under the radar for the most part. He's not amazing, but he'll give you innings when you need innings.
Yeah, and one thing I want to talk about real quick is we're going into Atlanta, right? So now we go into the NL Park.
Is that how that works?
And I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Nothing. Go on.
So going into Atlanta, going into the NL Park, obviously we're not going to see the designated hitter anymore. I asked both of y'all this question. What do you think the Astros lineup is going to look like? Do we see Kyle Tucker play center field? Do we see Jordan in left, Michael Brantley in right? Do we see Chaz get a start? Do we see Jose Siri get a start? I don't know where it's going to go. I just want to hear some insight from both of y'all on that.
Yeah, I mean, now y'all get to play real baseball.
Oh, here we go. That's just disgusting.
Oh, since we love
disgusting.
watching. I love watching.
I mean, have you seen Max Fried hit? That's his bat back there.
He rakes.
Okay, then. I'm just saying.
I can't wait to watch Luis Garcia drop down a bunt. It's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah,
full disclosure, she's a Greinke fan. She's have you been on her Twitter? So she's happy. I think we're all happy. We just get to see Greinke rake.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But everything else is gross about watching pitchers hit.
Maybe just pick better pitchers. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I don't know what y'all are going to do, but I'm excited to see it because bless your heart. It's hard to adjust that lineup when you don't have that DH. It's hard because I don't know. I mean, Jordan's, I don't know what you put out there.
So Jordan, actually, if you look at the splits, I don't have the splits pulled up, but
I was literally.
Are you
I
getting
was,
them?
Yeah, I'll pull it up because Big Wave Dave's been blowing me up.
I was just gonna say, Big Wave Dave showed me at the watch party the other night the splits, and Jordan actually hits better when he's in the field. When he plays outfield, he's a way better hitter. He's got a higher OPS, and I think he's got a higher slugging percentage when he's not the designated hitter, when he's not the DH. So
this can't be right.
Oh, dude, the splits that Big Wave Dave showed me, they show pretty much every statistical number is better for Jordan when he's an outfielder. You get to be more locked into the game. You're not sitting in the dugout thinking about just hitting. I don't know. That's just on the mental side of things.
Yeah. I guess it's a small sample size because in left field, Jordan's slugging 352. Oh, excuse me, 738 slugging, batting average 352 with an OPS of a 1.169.
Yep. And then
as a DH, he's only batting 251 with slugging 456 and an OPS of 771. More home runs as a DH. Wow. But y'all's field plays huge.
Mm-hmm.
That's worrisome.
On which part? For defense?
Yeah.
For Jordan in the outfield?
Yeah. I mean, he's shown that he can run, right? He's got 2 triples in his last 4 games. But I'm more worried about Michael Brantley on one knee. I mean, that he's fighting through it and gunning through it. But I think you got to go Jordan left, Tucker center, Michael Brantley right. You play for the offense early, and then you sub out defense late. Yeah, go Seris or go Chaz. And it sucks, but that's NL ball, I guess. But what are y'all going to do? Because is Soler now in the outfield and Jock on the bench, or how's that work?
Well, they might not sit. No, they're going to have to. Jock's fucking 2 for 19 or something in his last 5 games, 7 or 8 Ks. He's got to sit down. So that's all there is to it. They might swap it up if they try to get cute with lefty righties, maybe, but I expect him to sit at least 2 of the games. What
bats should we expect to see coming off the bench for you guys? Obviously, Jock, he'll probably be one of the top bats, but who else is on your bench for everyone tuning in that doesn't know about the Braves?
Adrianza, which you will probably remember from you will not remember, but in Ian's last start in the CS, in real baseball, we subbed him out for Adrianza in the 4th with 2 outs. And
I do remember that.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't know that I love this because Ian's kind of dealing. But then Adrianza doubled and then Rosario hit that home run and consequently we won that game. So he will absolutely be coming off the bench. I mean, that's who I would watch for. I mean, we've got Heredia, who's possible, and then Arcia, who's possible, but there's no real fear there. I hope at some point we see a pinch running situation and we get to watch Terrence Gore run.
Oh, yeah. That's America's going to get another taco.
Yeah.
Then definitely swipe it back.
I cannot wait. So, but yeah, Adrianza's who I was look out for.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All
outside of Jock.
Is Atlanta still doing that freeze run thing?
Yes, we still race the freeze.
I saw Miles Straw tweeted at him because Miles Straw wants to run against him. He said he's going to be at Atlanta to watch. He might be wearing a Michael Brantley jersey.
I think it's an Altuve jersey.
He said Michael Brantley either way. No, he just said a couple. I forgot exactly the tweet. Is it a couple of guys that are his boys or whatever? But we were talking about speed and Miles Straw trying to make his name relevant again.
He's a Gold Glove finalist, bro. Put some respect on his name.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah, the freeze.
Miles, I love you, dude.
People are still upset that he got traded from the Astros, and it's beyond me. Why?
Hey,
have you seen what Phil Maton has done?
He's a serial killer. That's who he is. Phil Maton is. I love the guy. Ashland, can you bring us up to speed, everyone tuning in for the first time, how you became a Braves fan, your fandom, before we jump into the games 3, 4, 5?
I've been a Braves fan basically forever, as everybody in Alabama is, because we're right next door. My grandfather and my uncle were both big baseball people in general. and we would go over and watch games together all the time. In 2020 and 2021, I lost both of them and just dug myself deeper into baseball those last few years when they were both sick, because that was like what we had to bond over. So I've always been a Braves baseball fan, but since like 16, when it was really, really, really dark in Braves world, I decided then to dig in even further for whatever reason, because I like pain, I guess. And then 18 was a phenomenal run because nobody expected us to do anything. And now here we are just a couple years later in the World Series. Gonna win soon, just wait.
So I'm glad you brought that up. So we had you on our MLB trade deadline special. We were doing a watch party from here at my house, and we had the Twitter Spaces going on, and you joined us for, I think, about an hour or so.
Yep.
But think back to that special. Think back to the trade deadline. And we're all reacting as really not a lot of moves were made. I think the Braves made some pretty strategic moves, especially with Acuna Jr. going out. They did a really good job. Think back to that moment. Did you think the Braves would make the playoffs? Not the World Series, just the playoffs in general.
Yes, because I had, even through as bad as we were this year, I had full confidence that we would take the division.
Because the Mets were going to be the Mets.
Yeah, I know. I knew we would take the division. Now, if you would ask me how much further than that, probably the answer probably would have been not far. But I knew we would get the division done.
So did you, and I guess you kind of just answered that, but I'll ask you again. Did you, at any point in time this season, did you think the Braves had a shot to get to the World Series?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Even when we re-signed Charlie, whenever that was, I made a video that, and I literally said, let's go win the World Series next year.
Yeah.
Like I had no worries or intentions or dreams about making it this year.
Do the Atlanta Braves have a side of Twitter that absolutely hates the Astros like everybody else? Like Braves Twitter, are they out to accuse the Astros of stealing signs and cheating every single game like everybody else?
I mean, I've seen a handful, but to be honest, it's kind of like those goofy people that we don't really pay much attention to anyway, you know?
Yeah.
So there's not a big faction. I mean, the Braves been caught doing some slick shit too, you know? So
yeah.
We kind of got to chill. Plus, we as Braves fans idolize Brian McCann.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you kind of got to be real careful on towing that line if you're going to like call for the Astros heads, but we love Brian McCann and we love Charlie Morton and he's still on the team, which obviously he's a pitcher, but still whatever, like you got to be careful with what you're saying.
Yeah. I think the craziest thing to me is the accusations of the Astros cheating here in the current playoffs. Like I'm sure you saw the comment
plane?
about the plane flying over.
Yeah, that would be some slick shit, honestly.
I mean,
I would love
like
that.
there were
We have
people-
our budget is like the size of the U.S. defense budget, and it's just only used for stealing signs because that's
You
where
know
we're
what?
like at.
Right.
We can't re-sign Carlos because our budget is for a plane giving us signs.
Yeah,
spy planes.
We've got spy planes. Jim Crane is tossing money to private jets and private propeller planes to circle across Fenway to steal signs.
I was there. I could be the pilot.
And then you have writers that have blue checks on Twitter that tell Astros fans this whole H-Town versus everyone motto that obviously is the Apollo motto, but it's really kind of taken off, that we should just not listen to the haters, not listen to people. Des and I were in Colorado. We went to Denver, and there was a grown-ass man, one row in front of us, a dude older than me, a dude older than Des, probably in his mid-40s, that was a Yankees fan, decked out in Yankees gear, screaming at Alex Bregman being a cheater. And then when we would say something to it, he would turn around and look at us and scream at us.
It was, yeah.
Like in the middle of it's 30 degrees outside. It's snowing. It's a mid-May series or a mid-April series, whatever it was early on. And the dude's screaming at us because we played for the Astros and we cheated too.
Yeah.
So no, we're not just going to
obviously.
not listen to the haters, like, come on, man. It's just, I was just curious if there was a side of Braves Twitter that people might not know about that just secretly hates or not secretly, but just bashes the Astros. But you made some really good points because there was some stuff done by the Braves in the past that's probably, that doesn't really get talked about compared to what the Astros are talked about. And then Brian McCann, I forgot about that factor. So I was just curious about that.
Yeah, there's a handful, but those are the goofy folks, so it's fine.
The crazy thing is just the fact that everyone was telling us, everyone on Twitter, that no one's gonna watch this World Series. No one's gonna watch this. We're like killing it on ratings. Like,
look at the ratings.
Hey, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. The ratings are smashing right now, and they're gonna smash when they go back to Atlanta because it has been a minute for you guys. And then the history and the notoriety of just Astros and Braves and y'all kicking our ass in the 90s and 2000s. I think the ratings are still going to smash over the weekend.
Yeah, I have really high expectations for just even when we're done with this and we look back on the success of this World Series. I better not hear a thing from Liberty Media about us not having any money this offseason. Not a thing.
Yeah, I think y'all are going to have a
we're raking in plenty of dough between the CS and this working out for us to have the weekend series. Swimming in it.
So let's look into games 3, 4, and 5. And as we transition into that, I just want to remind everybody that this episode is brought to you by Irma Rose, your local Katy winery. We thank Irma Rose tremendously for sponsoring us throughout the World Series. The weather is not ideal for baseball going into games 3, 4, and 5. So playing.
Can y'all get a roof? Can we do something? Come on. It's a brand new.
Baseball's supposed to be played outside. No roofs.
Well, look,
when it's beautiful, you can just do this thing where you push a button and the roof goes like this. And you can be outside.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They didn't ask me. I told them
the roof being open last night at Minute Maid Park was phenomenal. Like I am such a fan of that. I don't care what anybody says. On a nice night in Houston, Texas, like we had last night, the roof should be open.
It was beautiful.
But I'm with Dez. It's a brand new stadium. You guys couldn't have put a retractable roof on it.
Unbelievable.
It rains so damn much here too. I don't know what we were thinking.
Yeah,
it's a rookie matchup. I love it.
Hitting baseballs in cold weather is the absolute worst thing in all sports. So
yeah, I'm gonna be real honest with you. I don't know that we play baseball tomorrow.
Really?
You think it gets rained out?
We so the Braves, I don't really know the details behind this, but our tarp can't stay on overnight unless somebody's there to watch it.
That's a thing?
Really?
That's a thing. So I've heard. I've been told. So tarp's on now, but like when we go to the house tonight, it's gonna come off and it's supposed to rain all night. And it's supposed to rain pretty much all day tomorrow. So
wow. What? Why does the tarp come off at night?
I don't know the details.
What happens in suburbia?
I'm just relaying.
Information. Hey, what the streets are saying it, Brian. We can't never question Brian, we don't question the streets.
We
don't question the streets.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm not grounds crew, but that's
so I mean, that would push back. All right, so let's say it gets pushed tomorrow. So game 3 is now Saturday. The rookies are still going. All the pins are reset, right?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of helps y'all out because that eliminates
Max goes games 5.
That pushes a bullpen game out of there.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be Saturdays through game 3, Sunday game 4, Monday game 5. We wouldn't be back in Houston until Wednesday, Thursday. Okay. Yeah. Wow. I honestly don't want them to, if it's wet at all, I don't want any squirrely shit happening for any side. I don't want a ball slipping out of a guy's hand and someone slipping and sliding. I don't want to see that shit to make a game go on. But all right, let's operate like if the tarp does stay on and game 3 rocks tomorrow. It's the rookies. It's Garcia and Anderson. Our Garcia has been phenomenal all year. He gets in the playoffs. He sucks, has a hurt knee, comes back, throws a gem, the game of his life. Anderson's been a horse for you guys. But again, it's the NL thing. Has Brian just always had a short leash. I know you referenced the last game where he pulled him in the fourth-ish, right?
Yes, he did. And no, but also y'all probably didn't watch that game, but he had to settle in that game. I think it was the first inning was real shaky. Then he kind of settled in and it was fine. He was doing pretty well. That's when we were all a little shocked that they went in and pulled him. Plus, with the way we'd been having to use our bullpens, we just didn't expect him to see him come out that quick. But tomorrow, he's got to give us 6. He's got to give us 6.
That's basically how we feel about Luis Garcia.
Yeah.
You have to get a quality start, especially with a bullpen game looming after that, depending on the tarp coming off, whatever the case may be. But it's the same thing for the Astros. Luis Garcia has got to throw another quality start.
Yeah, we've both got to have length out of our starters in order for either one of us to feel any kind of confidence. And Ian has been phenomenal for us all year, but he also he's like a nutcase in the postseason, except for that last start was not so hot. And like you said, Luis had one that was shaky and one that was great. So it depends a lot on which one of both of them shows up tomorrow.
It's crazy that it's a swing game and we're relying on 2 rookies, right? Like,
yeah,
that's where we are. And
yeah, it's the first time since like 06, I want to say.
Yeah, it was Verlander. Yeah, Verlander and Reyes. Wow.
So I think, you talk about the 2 rookies, Des. I think that's to me, I think that plays into the hand of the Astros because the Astros get to obviously hit first. So they come out, knock out a couple runs, be aggressive, kind of like the approach the Braves had. That'll fall right into Luis Garcia.
Yeah, I mean, until the Braves come up,
you
just don't know what Luis Garcia is going to show up. You had 2 bad starts by Luis Garcia against the White Sox. You could tell the moment was too big for him on the road. Then at home, the grand slam bug hit him, and then he throws the game of his life. Obviously, you hope it's closer to the last one, the game of his life, but I mean, True's going to be popping tomorrow. Like, if there is a game tomorrow, y'all are going to be loud as fuck. Like, y'all have waited. And that's the thing. Like, we're spoiled, right? Like, I don't know how many games I've been to in the last 5 years that are like World Series game. Like, y'all have been waiting a long time for this moment. And I remember in 2017 how long I waited for that moment because I was like a kid in 05. So I didn't go to the games. So I waited like my entire life for that moment. Like, this generation of Brave fans, like, they just grew up with the stories of Chipper and Andrew. They saw them as kids, or they heard about Glavine and Maddox and Smoltz. Like, this is their new wave. Like, this is a lot of people's first times experiencing this.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole section of fans that have never seen a World Series game that the Braves were in, ever. And another whole section that's just never seen them win. I mean, I was 6 when we won, and I was 10 the last time we were there. So.
Are you going?
Yes, I'm going Saturday.
Breaking news.
Yeah, I'm going over tomorrow, but I'm not going in because I don't think there's going to be a game. And
that's a veteran move.
I'm just
not buying the ticket.
Yeah, I'm just not. I'm going to hang out with the fans. And Saturday, I'm going in, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, that place is going to be cold.
It's going to be so cold. It's not been cold here. And it's going to be fucking 55 and 56.
God, get a roof.
Days.
Get a roof.
It's going to be so cold.
Yeah, but it's going to be electric there. Like, that atmosphere is going to be insane. My aunt and cousin both live in Atlanta, and they've been texting me, talking shit all week to me. So, and they're a little bit older. So that just shows you the older generation of Braves fans are absolutely amped for it. I can't imagine what the younger generation that's never got to see it, because last time the Braves were in the World Series was 99, right?
Yep.
So now, and you're in a new ballpark, it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. I wonder who's going to come out of the arm barn for you guys.
Okay, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I kind of love that.
Bro, it pops. It pops. It's kind of fire, dude. If it wasn't that organization that said
sucks. The reason sucks, but arm barn kind of goes hard. I'm just saying, like,
bro, it's not an easy thing to say. Like, who's coming out? You know how many people are going to screw up and be like, somebody's coming out of the arm bar. The arm bar, like a wrestling move.
Look, that's a bar right there. You open that across every ballpark in America.
Exactly. Fine by me.
The Apollo arm bar.
Dude, right there, attached to the stadium. There you go.
Man, bars near a stadium. What a wild concept, huh?
How is you went to a couple of games this year, right? To Truist?
Yes.
What's the scene and vibe? Is there like, do you guys have bars? Or is it just
so y'all yes. Okay, so Truist is at the Battery. The Battery is, I don't know how else to explain it without giving a little shout out to Bill, but it's kind of like an outdoor mall. But yeah, there's bars, restaurants, stores all around. So like the CS, there's a picture floating around from the night we clinched. There's like fucking 15,000 people in the Battery, not even going to the game, just hanging out, watching the games in the bars, or they have like a big lawn area where they show it on like a huge TV screen. Is it like
in Colorado by the Raleigh Hotel, that kind of outdoor scene with the TV type situation?
Kind of, but like way bigger than that.
Wow.
Really?
So
15,000?
There are so many fucking people. Dude, there's so many people. Hold on, let me see. It was insane. And that was just to clinch a CS. So I'm like, the game starts at what, 8:00 tomorrow night? And we're planning, like I have friends getting there at 2 tomorrow to make sure we have somewhere to sit.
Jesus.
So
yeah, that's strong.
Day.
That's strong to impressive.
Yeah. So
I hope. So what happened here at Minute Maid Park is there was a couple of bars. You come out of the home plate entrance at Minute Maid Park, you literally cross the street, boom, there used to be 3 bars right there.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
They cleared out all of it. And there was a historical home from like the 1900s. They put it up on a trailer, jacked it up, and pulled it off and relocated it. And they cleared it all out and they made parking lots. So the plan is, from what I heard, actually at the watch party on game 1 of the World Series, is Jim Crane, the owner of the Astros, is trying to acquire some more land that's right there. And they're supposed to be putting in bars, shops, and even some apartment complexes right there. But Minute Maid Park doesn't have the bar area like a lot of other stadiums do.
It
sucks. It really does suck. I mean, it's a good atmosphere, but it's nothing like, it's not like Wrigleyville. Shit, it's not even like Texan Live up in Arlington with what the Arlington Rangers have. It's not like Cardinal Live or whatever they've got.
Fenway.
It's not like Fenway. Yeah, it sucks.
See, when you spill out of the stadium, you spill into the bars.
Yeah, I wish
it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Yeah. Now, I mean, you guys start lining up in like the 7th inning if you really want to go, but
it's there. Just having the option. That's pretty damn cool. It's a cool atmosphere. Minute Maid Park doesn't have that, unfortunately. I mean, you got to walk a couple of blocks to get over to East Downtown where a few bars are, but yeah, to spill out into a bar area where there's a big, massive watch party going on. God, I could only imagine.
See, that's what helps. That was what, and the Braves own the Battery. So all that shit that's being sold during that time, they're getting cuts of. So they are printing money this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. So let's look at games 3, 4, and 5. Give us your prediction, Ashland. Shot out of a cannon. Just go for it. Don't think too much.
Don't think.
We win Friday, lose Saturday, win Sunday.
Okay, that's I'm just going to cut the episode short.
Well, don't we all win because it's not being played tomorrow?
If it's not being played tomorrow, we're winning game 3 and 5. And if it's pushed tomorrow, we're for sure winning game 5.
So
why? Because of Max?
Yes.
The guy that we just touched up?
I have complete confidence.
I have more confidence in Rookie Anderson than
Look. I've been a Braves fan and an Auburn fan for a long time. I've got delusion down pat. Max will probably throw a Maddox in game 5 or 6 whenever we see him again.
That is outrageous. Okay. I respect it because we've had similar takes on this show.
Very, very true. We've probably.
I'm very close to saying Luis Garcia is about to throw a Maddox tomorrow night just to match the energy. So
he's not. It's fine.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
I think the Astros win game 3. I think they drop game 4, and I think they win game 5, and then they come home and they clinch the World Series in game 6.
That's the exact opposite of what's going to happen.
Okay.
I don't even. All right, I'll do a hotter take. The series doesn't even come back to Houston. We take all 3.
We need to see this. I can't wait till we get a studio so I can ring a bell or something with takes like that.
Look,
ding, ding, ding,
There
ding, ding.
are-
Hot take. Hot take.
it's not coming back.
There's a lot of Braves in 5 going around right now.
Still,
A lot of Braves in 5.
Braves in 5. That
Braves in 5.
what are y'all smoking?
I think we're going to let one more
Is
go.
marijuana legal in Atlanta? Is marijuana legal in Atlanta? Obviously, tarps aren't legal.
Oh,
Is marijuana? What y'all
roofs aren't legal.
Roofs aren't a real thing.
We need
down
Eldridge
there.
roofing out there.
They're
Man,
it's fairy dust. It's a fugazi. It's a fugazi. Wow.
As Jock said, we might just be those motherfuckers. You ain't beat us yet.
Oh, here we go. Look,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I'm about to send Jock Peterson one of our new hats. Michael Brantley official.
holy shit! Ashland,
Professional hitting.
She
Yeah,
sent the
I sent you that
photo.
picture.
Yeah, she sent the photo to the group message to the Twitter group. This is packed.
That was for the CS. So this weekend's going to be nuts. You can't fucking
Holy
Yeah, you
shit.
can. People can
Yeah.
see it. They're watching right now. I'm
I don't
showing
think-
them
oh,
what we're
yeah.
talking about. They'll be able to see it.
That is probably one hell of an atmosphere.
Yeah.
I bet
it's
that
insane.
that is insane. So we did an Ask Apollo on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter at BLima790, at Apollo Des1, of course, at Apollo HOU. What is yours? At Braves Ashland,
Braves
right?
Ashland. Yep.
At Braves Ashland. And if you care to follow John Boy Media, at John Boy Media. You want to read down the questions, Des?
Yeah, Jeff Passan just tweeted that back at us.
Did he?
So we ran into
met
Passan. We ran into Passan yesterday.
Last night. Oh, it was phenomenal.
And half the crew called him Passan. The other half called him John. We just called him all the wrong names. But he hung out with us for like, a good 10 minutes, like pregame.
Yeah,
but just shooting the shit.
He was actually really, really cool. Really cool.
He just called us sellouts.
No
Yeah.
way. Did he? Where is this at?
Under the main account, he just tweeted back at us sellouts.
Oh man. So he's walking by and Spaceman yells, Passan. And he stops and he looks and we wave him down. He walks up. I put my hand out. I introduced myself. I said, hey, I'm Brian Lalima. I said, we're with Apollo Houston. I said, we have the H-Town versus everyone. And he looks at us and he says something along the lines of, you guys fucking hate me. Are you guys the Apollo that made the video of me? And here comes Josh Strohs. He's got his camera and he's like filming. And Des walks up and then we start, bullshitting with him. And he makes Josh turn the camera off. Oh man, it was funny, but he was actually pretty.
He was
cool.
pretty fucking cool.
Yeah,
I had a friend that ran into him yesterday too. My friend Keeve went out there because it was cheaper for him to fly out there and go to a game out there.
Yeah,
They
I talked
go-
to 2 people that did. It was cheaper to fly to Houston,
Yeah, it was way
hotel, and a game than like get
Yeah.
into the game.
Yeah, not just a little cheaper, like way cheaper. So he was out there yesterday and ran into Jeff and sent us a video. He's good people.
Yeah.
He was. It was a lot of fun. I can't believe he called us out.
I'm pulling up the questions for a second.
man.
This is ours. We're off the rails.
He pulled the whole. Oh, look, my wife's calling. I gotta go.
Yeah. All right. I got the questions. First one is from Spaceman. He actually called him Passan. He goes, how are we feeling about the pitching matchups the rest of the way? So I guess both sides. Ash, you want to go first?
I mean, are you gonna throw Greinke 4? Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, I think he's going to be
He's
over.
gonna-
His last bullpen, he got to 60 pitches. So
Yeah.
this one's like maybe an inning for him.
So you got Greinke, and I don't know who's gonna start game 4 for us. I think maybe Kyle Wright's gonna start. I know he threw last night, but I think he only threw like 12 or 15 pitches or something.
So it's a bullpen game for
It's
y'all.
definitely a bullpen
So it'll be
game.
bullpen game for both.
Yeah.
Yes. So
I
don't
think
know. Flip a fucking coin.
Yeah, I think for the Astros, I think for the Astros, it really depends on Luis Garcia's start. If he can give us a quality start, then it changes a lot of things. Can he push into the 6th inning, maybe even the 7th? I don't know. It's going to pay dividends, obviously. But like you said, flip a coin. I think the way that both these rotations are set up with the bullpens, I mean, it's pretty much even.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I think the whole series is going to fall on Maxey and Framber.
yeah.
Game
So
Yeah,
five.
that's a good call. Yeah. What's next?
Both guys got shelled, and we're both saying they're going to go perfect games against each other. Unbelievable.
all I'm saying is Max retired like 10 in a row before he went out.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Revisionist history. The next question. Do Braves fans, this is from Duddles, do Braves fans feel like it was as big of a rivalry as Astros fans did back when both teams met in the playoffs every year?
Yes, it was a rivalry because there are still lots of Braves fans who hate the Astros because of that. Like, they don't give a shit about 2017, but they still hate y'all from way
04,
back.
05?
Yes.
Yeah, but you all owned us in the 90s and early
so
2000s.
Right. Yes, but 05 still happened.
That's fair.
So
Walt Weiss
grudges
still
don't
happened.
die.
Walt Weiss still happened in the Astrodome.
You know what's crazy is think about that 2005 series. Brian McCann was in the lineup.
Mhm.
Brian McCann was in the lineup. What just happened?
Yeah.
You're good.
Okay.
So there's a faction of animosity, like the older reign.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This one's from Luke H-Town Swimmer. He goes, do you think Greinke starts game 4? Yeah, Greinke's going to start game 4, throw a perfect game, and hit like 3 home runs. I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah.
Sounds about right. Uh-huh.
That's exactly what's going to happen. Exactly what's going to happen. I can't wait to see him swing a bat.
It's going to be so fun.
He takes hacks. Like,
It's going to be so fun.
I know he's going to be the opener, and so like maybe will only get one, but he may for love of the game himself and just like, hey, just stretch me out. I'm going to go for 120 pitches just so I can get 3 at bats. Like, I really feel that's what Greinke wants to do. Or we could do what y'all do with Max and bring him off the bench if we run out of hitters. Like, Zach Greinke could be the hitter that comes off the bench if we like burn through our lineup.
Yeah, Max has a walk-off win.
I do remember seeing that one.
Mm-hmm.
The next question is from light the fuse, #48. Oh, that's the Rockets one. The Braves have yet to lose at Truist this postseason. Should the Astros, who are 3-2 away from Minute Maid since the ALDS, be concerned?
Yes, you should be terrified.
I mean,
y'all,
look,
what are y'all, 7-0?
Next question.
Are y'all 7-0?
10. We played 10.
In the playoffs?
No, it's 7. The last 10. Hold on. 7-0 in the playoffs. We've won 10 of our last 11 home games.
Holy shit.
Well, it's now the World Series. So
yeah, throw all that out the door. Things
matter.
change. I'm not worried.
I'm not worried either.
Should be. You see all those people? You see all those people?
They're not playing. They're not throwing the ball. They're not throwing the ball.
It's
Look,
gonna be so loud.
That does the Astros have heard way worse this season.
yeah.
No, they have not. They have heard a few boos.
What?
A lot of boos even, but it's not been that loud, I promise.
Harry, unbelievable. I was actually about, you know how outrageous I was? I was about to give the Yankees credit right there. I was very close for saying something how good their crowd was loud. What is your favorite? What is your favorite 2021 postseason sign stealing rumor?
No, it's definitely the plane flying over the park. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, it's got to be that.
It has to be. Right?
It has to be. The defense budget's through the roof.
And then, then of course, a lot of people were trying to say that Framber Valdez was wiping, had stuff on his forehead because he was sweating so much.
That was crazy.
I never seen Boston so pressed.
Yeah, seriously.
And they were up in the series, and they were like that. And I said it, and we'll jump to the next question. When I was walking through Boston, and I was being chirped at, and I chirped back, Like there was nothing else behind it. I was like, oh, you're anxious. You're worried about this game. Usually like Boston fans aren't showing that. I was like, oh, you're pressed right now. Like you're on tilt almost. So
did you get called? Did anybody like yell, hey, sit down, jerk off?
Bro, did you not see my video?
Yeah, the video. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you. I got a lot. I loved it. The last question, we had a lot of comments like a Braves Ashland appearance and a lot of stuff like that. So you got a lot of love.
Yeah, because everybody loves me. I know.
Yes. Next question. This is I don't even know what the handle is. From Edgar. How do we feel about the lineups and the position players shifting the NL? More focus on the outfields for I guess both teams.
I think I'm on the Jose Siri train. If for some reason Dusty Baker goes with a different lineup to where Chaz or Siri gets playing time, I think I'm on the Jose Siri train. I think I like how Chaz doesn't get cheated with his at-bats, but some of his at-bats here lately have just been awful because his swing is too big, I think. So if we don't see the Tucker in center field with Brantley in left or Jordan in right, whoever's in the corners, I would like to see Jose Siri. I don't know about Dez or Ashland, what y'all think. Obviously, Dez more geared towards the Astros, but I stand on it.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be how they position the double switches and all that shit. Dusty Baker going back into the NL is going to be a big thing, I think, because that's what his career was based on. I don't think there's going to be a moment that he's never seen just because he's seen so much baseball. But it's how many guys you're running in and out. When do you pull a guy like Anderson got pulled early in the fourth? Do they do that with our guys?
Right.
Do you have Zach Greinke coming off the bench in the 10th to win a ball game? The things are going to get weird, I think.
Yeah, Marwin Gonzalez, Aledmus Diaz, if they're not having good quality at-bats late in the game, then you have to go to Zach Greinke to swing it.
I love it.
So there's a take. Ashland, what do you have? You're over there grinning and shit. What do you got?
I mean, he's not going to win it. That's never going to happen. But I would like to see Greinke come off the bench for an at-bat. You never know.
I mean, could you imagine, though, Zach Greinke coming off the bench with a walk-off single? I mean, obviously not walk-off. That part's
not happening.
Yeah,
he would maybe show emotion for the first time, like, ever. Like, as a Houston Astro.
It wouldn't be a walk-off, so let me correct myself, but a go-ahead single in the 11th or the 12th.
I would build a statue. I would literally stop what I'm doing and go build a statue for the Midway Park.
Put him in khaki shorts, a long sleeve
fishing pole, baby.
With a fishing pole. And some sandals.
Yeah. The flops. You got to have the flops.
With a Columbia hat on.
Unbelievable.
Build the statue.
That is all the questions.
Okay. So not a lot, but that's okay.
Yeah. It was, we asked really late in the day. So thank you guys for dropping all those questions in. Ashland, I don't have any. Brian, do you have anything? Final predictions, I guess, was we're all thinking we're coming back to Houston, right?
Yeah. I think the Astros win it in 6.
Yeah, Braves win it on Tuesday.
Yeah, I guess my last comment is just it's going to be interesting to see if the game is actually played tomorrow.
Yeah, that was a wrinkle. Now I'm rattled. Like I feel like this is like a Cold War information. Like there's some lies happening. I don't know.
You never know.
Yeah, and then we'll see what Dusty Baker does with the lineup. But he's coming back to the NL Park. He's coming back into his element, and I think he's done a very good job in the postseason, managing the bullpen, managing everything pretty much. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And then on the Braves side, pitching is the key. Same thing with the Astros. So that's really I got.
Astros in 5.
Delusional.
Is that a Mookie Betts painting in the background?
Yeah. Mookie's right there. Fernando's right there. And then Hank and Ozzy and Ronnie.
Why do you have an umpire uniform?
Yeah, I was going to say, what's
That's
the umpire?
my uncle's.
Okay.
That's his uniform and all his stuff.
And then the bat is from Max?
Yeah, that's a broken bat double from Max Fried.
That's pretty cool.
Do you want a bat from Des and I to add there? No?
Yeah, sure. I'll just put it right below. Basically the same. Y'all are just like Max Fried. Just as good.
I was going to say something was going to get backfired on me, so I stopped. Yeah, we could sign him. Back.
So
he's going to throw a Jim, and I was going to say something that he's going to throw a fucking perfect game. And I was going to be like, shit, I'm going to be on the internet forever.
Yeah. Cut that off. So we got a couple of old softball bats that we can sign, and we'll send them your way.
Just send me. I'll add you to the baseballs. Just send me baseball.
Yeah.
No, we'll send you a softball.
I'll send the 100-mile-per-hour challenge. So I was the only one that hit 100 miles an hour.
Yeah,
regulation.
He lost, but he's not the only one. There were two others. It's literally in the video that shows.
So you lost and you're a liar.
Correct. Yeah.
No.
Essentially.
I was the only one that hit it in regulation, but we'll link that video down below too.
Down below. I'm still waiting on my championship belt, but
yeah, it's in route.
Supply chain. Do you have any of our Apollo gear, Ashland?
I do. I have a Road to Omaha shirt.
Okay.
I found Road to Omaha. Actually, no, wait. I have the flowers one.
Okay.
I do. Look at me.
Well, those are rookie numbers.
Rocks it.
Those are rookie numbers. We got to bump those numbers up. Get you some more gear.
Ashland, thank you.
Softballs.
Thank you so much for coming on. Brian,
Absolutely.
Ashland, you want to shout all your socials out?
Yeah, go ahead. Plug them.
Braves Ashland everywhere. IG, TikTok, Twitter, all those things. Mansplain Baseball Elsewhere is the podcast. We also have Mansplain Hockey Elsewhere that we'll pay attention to when baseball is over and not until, because in October, this is the only sport that matters. I'm sorry.
For sure.
I agree. 100%. And I really hope that somewhere down the road, Houston gets a hockey team, because the Houston Texans are a fucking abomination. They're an embarrassment to the city. They need to break down NRG Stadium, put a dump truck out there and get it the fuck out of here. So bring a hockey team. Sorry, I'm done. That's my segue. I'm out of here. Yeah, follow Braves Ashland on all her socials.
Big hockey guy.
Oh, big hockey guy here. Man, Ashland, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it. You know, I think after this, I'm going to go get me some wine. Des, you want wine? You want a glass of wine?
Yeah, I would love to have a glass of wine. What do you think we should drink?
I think we should go to Irma Rose, your local Katy winery, where we make fruit wine with an elegant taste. Visit the location and experience a vibe like no other with live music, delicious food trucks, and a variety of local vendors to shop from. You can find their wines in 9 local HEB stores or online. Drink responsibly and go Stros. Shout out to Irma Rose, your local Katy winery. Again, Ashland, thank you so much for the time. Des, as always, you got anything before we get out of here?
Just love you guys.
Ashland, anything?
Braves and 6.
Oh my God. That's how we're going to end this, huh?
That's how we're going to end it.
Yeah, you got to just cut it right now. We're done.
That's
a wrap.
That's it.
That is it. Josh, that's a wrap. Cut it.
We'll be back after a couple of games. Don't worry about it. We're going to go. See y'all. Peace.